Hi, my name is Sara, and I am a missionary with Family Missions Company. My call to missions has happened over the course of several years. And so when I was a teenager, I was 16 years old and became Catholic. So I'm a convert to the Catholic faith. And that part of my story, I think, has just given me the desire for a long time to get to share the love of Jesus with people who don't know him. It wasn't until after I graduated from college that I went to a foreign mission trip for the first time. So I went to Mexico with Family Missions Company on a mission trip, and that was also a really transformative thing for me. So it was beautiful to me to see many Catholics in foreign mission, to see families in foreign mission with their children, and just to get to experience serving the poor and preaching the gospel in another country. And I think that was the first time that I really felt, I remember feeling like this kind of surprised feeling that you can actually do this with your life. And so after that, at the time I was serving as a missionary with Life Teen, which is a Catholic youth ministry organization. And I kept serving with them for several years. And so during that time, I was given the opportunity to go to Haiti, and the Lord just opened a lot of doors for us to start a mission base there with Life Teen. And when that came up in my life, I remember feeling very, very terrified. So even though I knew this was exactly what I wanted, I was terrified to kind of walk forward into it. And so I just remember feeling and thinking, like, can God really be this good? Can he really be this good that he would want to give me the desires of my heart, and that he would want to give me exactly the thing that I'm wanting? And after I wrestled with that for a while, I felt like the Lord was asking me to just believe more deeply in his love and his goodness, and that he was just trying to give me a gift in his love for me, and all I had to do was receive it. So after that, I moved to Haiti and lived there for about 3 years. And it was the most blessed and most difficult time in my life. So Haiti is a country where there's a lot of suffering. It's the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. And so it's hard to live there, and it's hard to see people suffering. And it was hard to see my neighbors suffer, who I came to love very much. But it was also a huge blessing. I found myself often sitting with teenagers, sitting with a teenager and a Bible and just getting to share the love of God, or going to someone's house and sitting on their floor and praying with a sick person. And so all of these things, I felt like every moment of my life was just filled with getting to pour God's love out onto his people. And it was a huge gift and a huge blessing, and I loved it so much. So before I left Haiti in my last year there, I felt like God was just calling me deeper into missions and wider too. So I felt like he was calling me to go to the nations and to preach the gospel to people who maybe have never heard his name. So as I was leaving Haiti, I just really prayed, Lord, don't let me forget the things that you have done in my heart here, and don't let me forget this call that you've placed on my life. And over the next few years, I lived in America. I taught in an elementary school, and I worked at a different school also. And so I was working in the world, but I did still feel like the Lord answered that prayer. And I would go to Mass and hear the gospel. So for example, at the end of Matthew, when Jesus says, "Go therefore and make disciples of all nations," or when Jesus calls the fishermen and they immediately drop their nets and follow him, the Psalms that say, "Let every nation on earth adore you, O God," and in Isaiah 49, I think it says, "I have made you to be a light to the nations." And so at Mass, I would hear all of these things over and over and over and over. And it kept stirring and stirring in my heart, and sometimes even feeling this physical movement in my heart from just hearing these words over and over. But at the same time, while I was feeling this call from the Lord still in my life, I was experiencing a lot of doubt and discouragement. So being in America, there's not a lot of Catholics that feel called to foreign mission. And so I want to say I probably met nobody over the course of those 3 years who felt that call in their life. And it was really hard to feel alone in that. And it was it caused a lot of doubt and discouragement for me. So I started to think like, well, maybe I like made this up. Maybe I just got too passionate and I need to like move on. Nobody else is doing this. Clearly this isn't what people are supposed to do with your life. And so I also wrestled with that for a long time. And because I was still feeling this desire in my heart, I came on a come and see with Family Missions Company. And it was here that I again realized that missions is a gift. And it's a gift that the Lord has blessed me with and wants to give me. And it's a gift that He has shaped to my heart. And so even if it's different than someone else's gift, and not because it's better, but just because it's different because He shaped it and made it for my heart specifically, and He wants to give that to me. And so missions for me is a place where I find a lot of joy. I find a lot of gladness. And there's a Christian author named Frederick Buechner who says that where God calls you to is a place where your deep gladness and the world's deep hunger meet. And so that's what foreign missions is for me. It's a place of deep gladness where I can meet the world's deep hunger. And so I just feel really blessed to get to follow this call of God. And I want to encourage you that just to ask the Lord, what gift is He trying to give you today? What gift does He want to give you in your life? And it's a gift that is shaped to your heart. And if that call, if that gift in your life is to foreign mission and to preach the gospel and serve the poor among the nations, it's a good gift. It's a blessing. And it's a gift that for me has had a lot of joy and a lot of joy in it. So thank you so much. Praying for you, and please pray for me also.